Oracles of Olympus. Welcome to Oracles of Olympus, the podcast of all things in miniature wargaming, role-playing, board games, and general nerd culture, all with a taste of cynicism, sarcasm, and nerdy banter. Please join Kyle, Ryan, CJ, and GM Drew as we break down all the stuff. Episode 15 of Oracles of Olympus. I'm joined here. We're with Kyle and CJ. We're sans Ryan tonight.
Yep, no Big Swole.
Big Swolski had to work.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kyle. I love you.
We're feeling the love.
He doesn't. He just really wants your love. It's all. He's a master.
Oh, I crave your attention.
He craves attention. He's basically like a chaos god. He exists off of your adoration and
your
dreams and your nightmares fuel him when he's on PUBG.
Your dreams and your nightmares.
Yeah,
mostly the nightmares.
Mostly the nightmares. As he's like beheading poor Chinese players on PUBG. He's know that you caused that. He's your monster.
Connor Migas, who is a regular listener, recently got a taste of the dark side. Speaking of playing PUBG, so that was a thing.
I'm GM Drew, fresh from ChubaCabraCON.
That's right, you are.
Round Rock, Texas.
Don't forget to visit his website, www.gmdrew.com.
What's going to be on gmdrew.com?
All sorts of cool GM stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to blog
Secrets.
about our Wednesday night games and GM tips and
that's right, because we all play a D&D game together right now.
Yeah, we started a new
campaign.
campaign.
Swimmingly.
I hope so.
I mean,
except my character, I think, was over the top.
A little, but not bad.
Okay, good.
Sir Father Hildebrand,
maybe changing. So I actually learned, guys, I didn't read my own sheet. I actually had listed him as Knight Chaplain Hildebrand, and then I somehow came up with Sir Father. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me either, but
it might be the what is it? The Western Watch.
The Western Watch.
So it might be your title. Western Watch just has their own ranking system.
They do, and I think GM Drew's maybe going to make my Western Watch more sinister potentially. I don't know yet.
I don't know.
The background's going to be.
Yeah. It's brewing.
Like, because I'll tell you when I'm playing it. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm shamelessly ripping off ideas from the Night's Watch in Game of Thrones. I mean, just shamelessly. But because my idea is it's this group in the West that's just filled with kind of these bastard exiles that are guarding an area nobody gives a shit about. Maybe this is growing up in Rollins. This is where my ideas came up.
I'm feeling you.
You feeling it? Like,
yeah, a little bit.
Think of a guard keep Drew set up at Wamsetter. For those of you who aren't from Wyoming, Wamsetter is between Rollins and Rock Springs on I-80. And how would you describe it, Drew?
Slightly right to the armpit of America.
Yeah, I've frequently heard it described as the butthole of Wyoming. That's a common term I've used. No offense to all our listeners in Wamsetter, but...
You know, the good thing about Wamsetter is recently they actually... started having Jim Weaver represent them as their number one real estate agent. So
real estate is available.
He now represents the entire state of Wyoming.
Jim, we still want to bring you on the show, buddy.
There's a Jim Weaver near you now, no matter where you are in the great state of Wyoming.
And I have
legend.
He is a legend.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come back to what I was just saying for D&D, but I have to get on a Jim Weaver rant real quick because I've noticed on the signs I'm starting to watch more for his real estate company, and I've noticed piddly put things he gives to his agents. Anything that's big or spicy is Jim's name himself with his cell phone.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Like the steam plant is now for sale in Cheyenne, and it's Jim Weaver's name on it.
Jim Weaver's selling that bad boy.
Like the hotel across the street from us, Jim Weaver.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like
This is the steam plant that was going to be the big brewery.
Yeah.
The anchor of the West Edge project.
Yeah, it turns out that fell through.
Yeah, shocker. The Greer building, also Jim Weaver. Like,
Jim
if you want to
Weaver.
rent the Greer building,
You
he
call
has
a
a
lackey,
sublet
yeah.
agent for that. If you want to buy that Batman, you call Jim direct. You call Big Jim Weaver, he's going to help you out.
Like, if you call Jim, it's just like, Jim, I got $2 million and I don't know what to do with it. Jim's like, I'm going to help you out.
I got a couple properties, or maybe one big one. We don't know. What you want to do?
You looking for an industrial steam plant?
Right? How about an old furniture store?
But anyway, I back to D&D, I do picture my character's nightly order as like the guardians of Wamsetter. Nobody wants to be there, but when you have nowhere else to go, it's like when your car breaks down in the desert. If it's the closest town, that's where you're going to get it fixed.
Sure.
When you're being murdered by pillaging ogres or orcs, the Western Watch, if they're the closest, you're going to go to them. But the Western Watch needs a little bit of money for their services. It's poor out there.
Does that mean that Wamsetter is basically Wyoming's versions of Hills Have Eyes?
Yes.
Like, there's a bunch of muties out there.
That's
who are, like,
actually...
weirdly inbred and they kill
Oh,
meat
God,
people.
what's the town on the way to Lander, Drew? Help me out here. The one that was uranium town.
Jeffrey City.
Jeffrey City. That's Jeffrey City. Have you ever been to Jeffrey City, Kyle?
I've probably been past Jeffrey City.
So Jeffrey City...
Is it on I-80?
No, it's on the highway up
then-
to
From
Lander.
287.
Then I definitely have not been to
So Jeffrey
City.
City is next to the largest uranium deposit in North America. And it was all uranium mining. And they built this amazing town, but then when the mine closed, they abandoned it. So it's like driving through a modern American city with schools and rec centers and stuff and houses, and it's just empty. There's nothing.
How is it not like a total like hobo jungle now?
Because there's nowhere, there's no trains, there's
Okay.
no major highways. The hobos would die is your short answer. Like, there's nothing for them to subsist off of.
That's not true. There could be other hobos to
There could be
off
other,
of.
which we did outside of our store today.
Like a
See
s-
HoboCon.
HoboCon, yeah, there was like a hobo. It's warm weather in downtown Cheyenne, so the hobos are out in force.
Yeah, they are.
All being not transients.
Yep.
Yeah.
What can you say? So yeah, so you can help me flesh out that Western Watch, but
I have
that's
some
my
ideas.
background of where I'm coming from. Is that he pretends my character it's really noble, but it's actually
I like the idea the Western Watch is this sinister person at the middle of it.
Yeah.
And has convinced you that this is something grander.
that it's something
And
semi-noble.
you have no idea you're out encouraging people and recruiting people for this sinister organization that's just one guy in a middle of a shitty castle eating grapes.
Well, Drew, that kind of kills a little bit. I don't want to work for like the Grognard guy from South Park, where he's got like the carpal tunnel,
You've
and the
never seen him.
crumbs, like he's just playing his games.
You don't know.
what I'm talking about.
You don't
Yeah,
know.
he's the
You
ultimate
got to
WoW
at least
player.
give me
He's unkillable.
like 6 villains. Like, okay, I like it's got to be somewhat convincing because presumably my character's been there, right? And I had to run into at least to a couple nukes that were pretending it's real,
Maybe.
or it's real and it's just really that terrible. Because sometimes a favorite saving of mine is that not everybody's evil. Sometimes they're just stupid. So, like, it could just be they're really incompetent country bumpkins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that.
like by
Bit of that
making
going
him
around.
a mastermind evil, you might be giving too much credit to the Western Watch. Like,
True.
way too much credit.
True.
Like, think like Uncle Bob opens his own
Ooh, like Uncle Bob's Country Bunker.
Uncle Bob's Country Bunker.
They have both kinds of music there, country and western.
Yeah. I mean, I think of moments like, the, how is it the Canadians say it when there's a SamSquantch in your shed?
They just say there's a SamSquantch in my shed. Hey,
But you do it well.
Ricky, there's a SamSquantch outside my shed.
oh yeah, I see it out there.
Hold on, Bubbles. We're going to get that son of a bitch.
That's the Western Watch. Those two guys are watching for SamSquantches.
So you're saying the Western Watch are just the Trailer Park Boys from Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of who I'm going with.
My favorite flavor of white trash is Canadian white trash.
Yeah, that's the best.
It's a more mapley white trash.
French Canadian white.
No,
trash?
French Canadians can't be white trash. They're Euro trash. It's
Yeah,
different.
they're Eurotrash.
And I hate them.
I
Yeah.
know.
They're the worst form. Just by far.
God damn, they are awful.
I mean, it's just a special type of bad.
Yep.
Like, if you want a really bad time at your party, call a bunch of French Canadians.
Call a bunch of French Canadian guys. They'll come stink up the place and drink your beer, but be snooty about it.
And insult you in French when they think you can
They'll
understand them.
definitely do that, especially if they think you can't understand them. Yeah. Thanks, high school French. You really paid off. Letting me know when I was getting insulted by those surrender monkeys.
See our Road to Adepticon episodes for more
Yeah,
on French
right.
Canadian.
Of French Canadians.
Sons of bitches.
All right, so
All right,
let's
tell us about
talk-
ChubaCabraCON. Did I
You
jump
want
the
to start
gun?
with ChubaCabraCON? I want to.
Well-
let's get this big AOS news out of the way.
There's a fuck ton of news.
There is
There's a lot of
excited
news.
about it.
I mean, I'm just worried that we will go on so long we won't have time for ChubaCabraCon, and I really want to hear what happened.
All right,
Tell
he
us about
wants
it.
to
I mean, you
ramble
kept
ad nauseam.
everyone on the
A
donkey
little
trail.
bit of ChubaCabraCon.
Yep.
So, ChubaCabraCon is
Yay!
a 3-day con in Round Rock, Texas, which is just
Round Rock.
Are you done? Which is just north of Austin. Cool little hotel.
Okay.
It's a really small con.
How small?
Do you know the
I
attendance?
think they had 200 people.
Oh, that's pretty
That's
small.
pretty small.
It's way small. Most of it was role-playing games. There was a little bit of board game stuff going on and a little bit of LARPing.
Were there awkward cosplayers? Please say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, like Genghis had some pretty awkward cosplayers this past year.
The difference between it and Genghis, though, is the cosplayers that are awkward there are there pretty much all the time. Mm-hmm. The ones at ChubaCabraCon were only there for their main Saturday LARP event. But it was odd. I poked my head in there.
kind
It
of
looked like there was
uncomfortable.
some sort of dance kind of thing going on.
Awkward nerd dancing.
So
Did they have were there half the people wearing fedoras at ChubaCabraCon?
I remember this kind of feathered cloak guy.
Oh my god! And he had a fedora. Please say yes.
Somebody had a fedora, but I don't think it was him.
What? Did you at any point hear someone go, "Milady"? Not in character.
I did not.
I'm curious, on a level of, 1, 2, I'm never leaving my mom's carriage house. How many basement lords were there? How basement lordy? Was it a lot of shit lords or?
I don't know. They were all getting ready, and then I went to go play in my Texas D&D game.
No, we mean in general. How many shitlords were there in all of your RPGs?
Out of 200, what percentage?
Oh, we're
shitlords.
RPG.
Were shitlords?
I mean,
I would
real
say
life
75% of it. So,
75% basement dweller. You heard it here first, folks.
God damn it! I don't want to shit on Chupa, but here's the thing. I was a good friend of mine, Camden Wright, who writes for a number of publishers, invited me down, and the thing they talk about with ChubaCabraCon is that there's a shit ton of developers and designers of games. So
Right, that's kind of the whole pitch, right?
there's a good chance you're going to be playing with the guy or the girl who made this game. So color me intrigued. So I went down there, and it's true, a lot of them are there. What I found in my personal experience is that a lot of them went and played games with each other. This is a time for them to meet up with friends in the industry, and so I kind of felt a little left out. With that being said, I got to play Torg Eternity with Greg Gordon, who is one of the original creators of the game, which came out in the 90s.
What game?
It's called Torg Eternity.
I have never heard of it.
And it's recently been rebooted
Okay.
by Ulysses North America.
Okay.
By Daryl. Sorry. Sorry, I forget your last name. But Daryl Hardy. So that was cool playing with him. I mean, the guy really knew the world, and I want to say it was action from the time I started playing to the end. That was one of the better games I got to play.
Okay.
I also got to play Fantasy Age with Jack Norris, who works for Green Ronin. And
Okay. What's the game?
He's Chuck Norris's lesser-known cousin.
He is.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
I believe it. You're in Texas.
Oh my God.
I have
mean,
no
he
reason
is-
not to believe you.
True.
He's Walker Texas
Green Ronin
Ranger.
is not in Texas.
It's ChubaCabraCon. That's just a weird enough story that I would believe it in the gamer context. Yeah.
So I played Fantasy Age, and Fantasy Age is
Is that its own game?
it's a rule set
Okay.
that is it first came out as Dragon Age,
Okay.
and this is just stripped the campaign setting out of it
Okay.
and just the rule set. It's the same setting that Will Wheaton uses on his show.
Okay.
Is that Titan's Grave?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They're also coming out with Modern Age, which is the same rule set for modern dystopian future type stuff.
I didn't know there were this many RPGs out there.
There's
God,
a
there's
shit
like
ton.
hundreds,
There's a
honestly.
shit ton.
I know of 4, so. This is...
So, those are the two developers I got to
Okay.
play with. The rest of the time I played with Texans.
Okay.
And so I played 2 games of Call of Cthulhu. with a gentleman from North Texas who was a historian.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. His father was a historian. He is
nothing worse than the son of a historian.
Right? And he's a librarian.
Oh, my
Secondhand
goodness.
historians.
I played at a lot of con games, and it's usually like you sit down, you pick a character, and you go.
Yeah.
For this game, we sat down, and we got an hour history lesson about North Texas.
I like to call that a primer of North Texas. I didn't know because I had recently been to Texas too within the past year. I didn't know that Texas is actually several smaller countries that are masquerading as a state in our great union.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely learned all about East Texas when I was in East Texas.
See, and this was North Texas, and he said, there's never been a Call of Cthulhu game up in, that's set in North Texas, so I decided I'm going to write one, and I played it, and I know why there's none, because it is extremely boring.
Do you know why there's actually, it's not that, do you know why there's actually no Call of Cthulhu game set in North Texas?
Nobody was there?
No, because North Texans can't pronounce any of the old ones' names. They're like, we're left and they're meffner tip, Rala on tip, and Cthulhu tip, and... So, yeah, it's just real. They just slaughter that shit. So, the Dark Gods never sent any of their.
An hour of learning about North Texas in the 1890s was interesting, kinda. But this guy went to the nth degree. All the characters, all the pre-generated characters he brought were real people
from Texas,
from that real time.
Sweet.
That he went and researched.
Yeah.
All the
weapons.
I'm
just a nerdy enough historian. I might have liked that.
And all the weapons were of the time and available that they might have had. He had a map of the area where it was to scale, and he actually did the whole Latin longs of what it would take to walk from each of these towns.
So he did a lot of work, but it just came out boring, is what it sounds like.
It was boring as shit. And
too much minutia. Sometimes that's bad.
I later found... Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Good GMs will have the 3-act story of a 4-hour game session, right? And they will let you feel like you're in a sandbox. And if once you get off, they will find ways to route you back on. So if you go to an NPC that he never planned for you to go to, a good GM will use that NPC to route you back to the story. Yeah. This guy was obviously, he hadn't done it much, right? He was inexperienced, and
he wasn't able to do that, really.
All NPCs were dead ends. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
It's not bad to have an inexperienced GM, but it's like an inexperienced lover. It's way less fun than it could be.
Well, it's really bad when
I'm not sure how to use that hole. Like, no, I'll show you. Like, just hold on. Like,
here's my beef with it is I spent a lot of money to travel and a lot of time off work and stuff to go down there. I kind of expected a little higher level.
Schmooze with the mucky bucks?
I did.
Is there, do you think, so not being able to play with the designers, is there a secret thing that you didn't do that you should have done? Do you think maybe you had to be I brought my mom's best cookies and I brought pizza, and all the designers being neckbeards at heart perked up what do you mean, free pizza and cookies? They're like, are they Samoa cookies or are they Oreo style cookies?
I don't.
Did you not bring the right beer?
That's a real good question, because I thought I did a lot of
groundwork leading up,
right, because the system they use for the convention software tells you who the GM's going to be, and I did most of the research. Granted, as soon as the events opened up, a lot of those sold out. All the Freedom Squadron stuff was gone. Granted, Sean Patrick Fannin was not allowed to be there, but that's another story for another podcast.
Did he do something bad?
He did.
Is he not allowed in North Texas?
What did he do? You got to
Walker, Texas Ranger won't let you up here in North Texas around Amarillo.
So what happened with that is he became the next victim of the Me Too movement.
Oh boy!
He did some inappropriate things with a number of people.
He diddled somebody he shouldn't have.
And it was reported on enworld.org.
Okay.
And the people, from what I understand, the people who run ChubaCabraCON requested he
uninvited him.
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
That's a big deal.
Yep. So
wow.
Yeah.
First our Secretary of State, then a RPG guy.
Unfortunately, what I talked about it with some of my friends there, and I said, I really didn't think this would make it into our hobby.
Yeah.
Right. And my friend Camden said, the thing is, it was already here. Right. And it's unfortunate, but We'll see what happens with that. Freedom Squadron looks like a great game. I hope it doesn't suffer because of it, but we'll see.
It's hard to say.
Don't diddle people you're not supposed to, I suppose.
Yeah,
Or just be careful of who you diddle near.
Right.
Don't be diddle adjacent.
Just be nice. Shit. Right?
Yeah, or just
if you don't
nice
get
to people.
if you don't get the I don't know, the nonverbal cue that they aren't interested.
Are you saying that there are
off.
people in our hobby groups that don't understand nonverbal social cues?
What?
That's super suspicious to me.
Are you serious?
I don't
doesn't
know that I
happen.
believe that, Drew.
Like when you're trying to log in product and there's someone that's telling you their entire life story and expecting you to answer. Yeah, that happens.
So to round up my ChubaCabraCON experience, I had some great barbecue.
Okay.
I had some great tacos at this place called Tacos and More. It was awesome.
Texas does have really good food.
I got to hang out with some friends that I've made in the industry. I do know some industry people. Camden and Wendy.
Name drops.
I will name drop all I can.
Did you have good barbecue? That was like my thing when I went to Texas.
That's what I
had
just
to have
said. Are
good...
you not listening?
I heard the tacos part. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. We went to Rudy's Barbecue.
Okay.
And then we went to Pokey Joe's,
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
It's really good.
Stanley's was the one that I went to, and then I went to the one that George Bush likes the most, which was really good. I think it's just called, I swear to God, I think it's called like Country Bunker or something. And I'm sure my friends from Texas are really pissed off if they hear that. Like that I don't remember what it was called, because it was great, but yeah.
We did skip our Sunday games and went to Avengers to see it on the IMAX, and that was cool. And
Was that your first time seeing Avengers?
No,
there
it
in
was my
Texas?
second.
Yeah? Were you extra sad when everybody died? Like at least half of them. Definitely Bucky. Definitely Black Panther.
You know, when I saw it,
Suck it.
We talked
If
about
you haven't
it,
seen it yet,
and I
feel
was
bad.
kind of like, meh. A second time watching, I enjoyed it more, I think.
Did you enjoy it more that all of the Guardians of the Galaxy die except for Rocket? Pow!
Even Spider-Man's sad death.
Yeah, I don't want to go, Mr. Stark. I actually kind of like Spider-Man's death the most.
Yeah, he's...
Had the most meaning.
It did have the most. Like, you actually cared. Like, everybody else is just like, what? And they
Everyone
fade
else
away like, oh, jeez.
Like when Star-Lord turns death, like, that'll suit you right, you asshole.
Right? Like, I shouldn't have fucked around.
I talked about Avengers a lot on the trip. You know,
So-
Thanos, does everybody think Thanos, like, his little sequences that he is in the Soul Stone when he's having that kind of talk with
I don't
Child
know.
Gamora?
I can't stop looking at Thanos' ballsack chin.
I know, right?
It's really hard not to see a ballsack on that chin.
Thanks,
Like, they
Star-Lord.
just, yeah, right? Like, and he says it, and I'm like, yeah, those are balls. You're definitely really big purple balls. Like, I feel like they were at one point perhaps blue, and now they've become purple, and it's just really gotten to a point where he's like, fuck it, I'm killing half of the universe. Like, I guess if you were blue-balled long enough,
Yeah.
I'd want to kill half
you
the
might go
universe,
on a rampage.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like people don't want to,
So,
don't want to hang out with the ballsack
So
shit.
how many
takeaway-
stars out of 10?
my takeaway from ChubaCabraCON is I don't think I will travel to go to a small con again.
Yeah.
It's just it's not my jam. I want
Like if it was close by, you'd drive over to it.
yeah. If it's a 6 to 8 hour drive, sure.
Yeah.
But this was
You're not gonna fly
So
to
you'd
it.
go Omaha is like kind of like your limit.
I think so.
Sure.
I think so.
That seems fair.
And yeah, so now I've got into all the Gen Con events that I want to, so that's the next big one for me.
I was totally thinking about trying Gen Con, and I just was like, I'll just wait and see. And then I looked back at the events, and I was like, nope, they're all sold out.
They are sold out.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
So I got into the D&D experience,
Okay.
which is
Is that the live action-y one?
no.
'Cause I've heard a lot about that.
Yeah, that's I can't remember what that's called. But this is 4 sessions of D&D. They're each 4 hours a piece, and you play with the same people that you muster with at the first.
Okay.
You-
4 sessions of 4 hours?
Yep.
That's a shit ton of D&D.
So 69. Yeah. Yep. And you get the same GM, and they're top tier DMs that Baldwin Games has hand selected for experience, and you usually get a shit ton of swag. It's expensive.
Yeah.
The
I
first
imagine for 16 hours, it's kind of got to be, right?
it's $150 a
Oh,
seat.
that's less than I thought.
Right.
So
And
We paid $250 for our team tournament.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like fuck
so
it.
last time I went, I got the monster manual like 6 weeks early, and it's all signed by the developers.
That's cool.
And,
Yeah, that's cool.
some
That way you
branded
can,
swag
that way you
and
can cheat
shit.
and know all the ACs to all the creatures right there. And there.
yeah, right.
Just looking at my cool swag.
So I've
What's
done
the
it
name of the
before.
monster we're fighting?
I've done it before, and the DMs are really good.
Yeah.
So it's worth the money if you can get into it, and you don't have to muster 4 times. So you just
You have
do
to muster? What do you mean muster?
So mustering is at the start of an event, you crowd around all the other people that are also signed up for that event and try to build a party.
Oh, gross.
And so you only have to do that once.
So I absolutely hate awkward experiences with people I don't know in RPGs, so it sounds like I wouldn't like that.
Do you, like, when you muster, do, like, 4 or 5 cool D&D kids with, like, leather jackets and cool sunglasses, like, kind of stand out and start picking people softball style? And they're like, yeah, I'll take the weird nerd with the coke-framed glasses and the blonde hair. Cool.
The time we did it, like, we were walking around.
Hell.
We were in the crew, and there was a couple of guys like, we're looking for guys who aren't dicks. And
We're looking for guys who aren't dicks.
We were like, these are our people.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm looking for a cleric, preferably 3rd level, and definitely a dwarf.
And it turned out like they were all cool people,
Yeah.
but one of the guys totally had a mail order bride.
Really?
She
Interesting.
was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Asian girl. She couldn't
Didn't speak
a
a lick of English.
No.
Yep.
All she did is dropped her dice. He would tell her what to do and move her character and all that stuff. She just dropped her dice and put lipstick on. That's all I remember.
She had to be bored as shit, but boy, she wanted to be a citizen, so she sat through that.
And he's this big, fat, typical bald.
Yeah, of course he is.
guy.
This is my beautiful mail order bride. I can't pronounce her name, so I just call her Tina.
Yeah, and we would like.
It's something really exotic, and I would just do it a disservice.
We were like the whole time they were there with another couple, and this other couple were just typical American. They were like engineers or something, and we were talking. Between sessions, we're like, all right, let's do this. We're gonna say. We'll ask the normal couple, like, oh, how'd you guys meet? Oh, that's great. That's great. And how did you guys meet?
Yeah, right.
Did you get that question out?
No.
No, you should have.
It didn't come up.
Which is a good public service announcement. I was just reading an article about how dangerous it is to get mail order brides from Ukraine. Like
Because they're all fucking Donetsk rebels.
Yeah, you go over there apparently to meet one, and then they either kidnap you and ransom you, or they beat the shit out of you and then rob you.
Yeah.
They're like, we need 2,000 American cash to get back to America.
Right?
Bring money, my love.
They need 2,000 American cash to buy more bullets for their Kalashnikov, comrade.
So my rating is if you live in the Round Rock area, it's fine. It's $50 for the weekend. Go play some games, right? But I would not
Learn about North Texas.
not travel to go to that again.
No mas ChubaCabraCON, amigos. You heard it here first.
So next up,
Let's talk about stuff I love.
well, I've got 2 things that you love on here.
I love a lot of stuff, and these are very high on my list.
Do you want to just knock out some Star Wars?
Let's knock out Star Wars.
Best for last?
Yeah, we'll save the best for last. So yeah, I kind of like Star Wars, and
Hey, we all kind of like Star Wars.
we all kind of like Star Wars.
I may have grown up on it. Like, I'm sitting here looking around, and I see like at least 4 dozen Star Wars things.
I've got Yoda.
He's got Yoda
permanently on my arm, so
it's
kind of has Star Wars.
I'm a fan. I'm actually not wearing my Star Wars watch. I'm wearing my Apple Watch, but I did buy some themed Star Wars watches. So. Anyway, let's get back to the podcast. The Star Wars Legion. They announced their next 2 releases, which I definitely felt. Boba Fett surprised me. So Boba Fett's one of them.
I'm surprised it's this early, right? I knew it would
yeah.
come, but I didn't think it would come out this early.
Here's what I wanted to happen. Because they did the same thing with X-Wing.
Yeah.
They did Boba Fett pretty early on.
Yeah, and he's an Imperial.
Right? And he's Imperial. Mm-hmm. And then they had to redo him.
And make him scum.
So I was surprised that they didn't wait to see how Legion would do. And then
I am too.
Introduce a new faction with Boba Fett as the commander.
It clearly shows
You're just assuming the Jabba won't be the commander.
He'll be one of them.
Yeah.
He'll be the badass one.
That's a character general I want leading my army. But the interesting thing about Fett is, did you guys read the articles about all the rules?
Nope.
I looked at the model.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I cared about. I was like, I want to see how cool the model looks. Like, I'm just gonna get him. Right? It's Boba Fett. I don't care what he does.
Well, let me tell you, folks, what he does. So, he's new in the sense that they're adding a new thing called operatives. So it's actually the operatives will have even a new activation token, something completely different.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a new token. The
More
token guy
tokens?
the token guy at FFG was like, "Oh boy, this isn't going to work under an HQ token." So,
Oh, jeez.
this is just all wrong. Let me get to work here. basically he's a new token. Operatives are a new thing. Essentially what they are is they are characters, but they have cards that go in your command deck, but they only affect that operative. Like, for example, the Pip 1, so the way to get initiative fastest for Boba Fett, if you play it, it only affects Boba, and you get to activate him with his order. However, it lets him shoot his flamethrower all over people next to him. Ooh. So they're like special abilities. My favorite one is his 2 Pip 1, though, that lets him essentially hogtie somebody and drag them away with his cool little thing. Like, he gets to wrap them with his little cord and then fly off with them. That one's pretty sweet. So he can basically kidnap Leia or Luke and drag them into the Imperial line, which I think is kind of fun.
Yeah, I feel like you're never going to drag Luke into the Imperial line. He's like, thanks for delivering me here so I can sever all the limbs of the stormtroopers.
The stormtrooper's like, what are you doing? Oh no! God, why?
Fucking limbs and white armor flying everywhere.
Yeah, I played in our Legion tournament. I ended up winning all 3 games, so I was pretty pumped about that. I was the only Imperial player, and I felt very strongly about putting down terrorists. Sorry, Ken and Marcus and Ricky, but somebody had to do it, and that was me. I barely beat Marcus, but
because all you have is the rules.
All you have is the rules. So, but I did learn a valuable lesson, which is check. Can I get a rules check, please? I did learn that 2 stormtrooper squads trying to take on Luke on a flank doesn't work. They lost.
Yeah,
turns out.
Like, you should. I don't feel bad for you because you had at least 5 movies of empirical proof of that.
I did. I got. I had some imperial arrogance going on. I was like, we'll deal with this.
Yeah, we're like, we can take him. He's just a farm boy with a sword. Oh God!
He literally killed 5 of my 12 stormtroopers with reflective bolts shooting my bolts back at me.
I mean, that is the whole shtick.
It's kind of, and then he got there and just murdered everybody.
Yeah.
And to add insult to injury, one guy was trying to escape behind a tree, and he shot me with a pistol and killed me. So he put me down like a dog.
I prefer to use a more civilized weapon.
Yeah, from a more civilized age.
From a more civilized age, yeah.
And then Scout Troopers, they're the next one. Shout out to our own Scout Trooper, Danny. That makes him happy.
I know, he's like super pumped. He messaged me like as soon as that release came out. He's like, Scout Troopers! And I was like, yep.
How exciting will it be to put those in your home and think of like 6 mini Dannies running around your home,
6
keeping
mini
watch,
Dannies, drinking a bunch of my beer,
drinking all the beer.
You know what I thought was kind of weird though about the Scout Troopers dismounted is they didn't give them more sniper rifles or something. Like, it's like almost all of the guys have. Yeah, right. You get 1 sniper, 5 dudes with holdout blasters. That feels, I guess, weird. I expected more sniper rifles.
So the holdout blasters are actually really good, though.
I'm sure they're fine.
They're not just fine; cool. They're incredible.
Sure.
Like, basically, think of fighting like an army of noisy crickets, where they're just like blowing holes in your walls. They're literally probably more than twice as powerful than the regular E11 blaster. They're just gunning you down at range 2 black dice each. And when a regular stormtrooper fires 1 white dice. And
again, leading me to question why the Empire ever chose the E11 as its primary weapon. It just feels
they must have got a hell of a deal.
They had to have got a hell of a deal, right?
It was one hell of a deal on those.
Yeah.
But so the way the squads are going to work, they're going to be special forces for the Empire. And the way that they work, the special forces, is that you can take the normal squad, like, your 4 dudes. However, you have these smaller specialist squads that are just 2 guys. Basically, you can set up a spotter sniper or a demo team where they're laying mines throughout the battlefield.
I feel like, how do you not bring a spotter sniper team? That just sounds...
I feel like you have to. Like, my point right now is I want both. I want snipers and mines set up all over the battlefield because I like to have my cake and eat it.
Sure.
So I'm actually pretty excited about them. I'm still loving Legion. I'm having a great time with it. It's a good game. But the announcements by FFG were essentially completely overshadowed by the nuclear bomb that Games Workshop
set off. Yeah, what, did FFG announce something this weekend?
On Friday. Yeah, they announced over the weekend.
Oh, shit.
And then Games Workshop, you announced 2 things? Cool.
They just unzip their pants and like, I've got something to show you, old boy.
Yeah. It's like...
It's like, damn.
We know you're run by the Frenchies at heart.
Yeah, right? Like, it was adorable when you were a colonial company, but now we know the frogs are running you. Like, let us show you how it is done, old chap.
Let's show you how an empire was built.
Yeah, right?
So,
oh my god.
Warhammer Fest. I don't even know where to start. I mean, it's so much.
I basically spent pretty much all of
Kyle was playing a tournament that day.
Yeah, well, I spent most of the... so I actually started seeing it Saturday night because it was releasing on UK time, so I stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning before the tournament just to see these announcements, and they started dropping stuff, and I was like, my god, how will I sleep? there were like literal moments like during the tournament where I was just like, I might pass out because all the blood is rushing away from my brain. Like, I'm so excited about this right now. They announced so much.
So let's start with the less exciting ones first. And I say less exciting.
Yeah, what's the less exciting part here, I guess?
So we saw Plastic Sister, which is really exciting, but compared to a lot of the other news...
No, sure.
But it was really good looking.
It was a good looking model, but I don't care, I guess. Like,
so that's why I started with the less exciting.
Yeah.
We got the new, like a preview of the Kador gang from Necromunda.
Yeah, which they look cool. They're
we got
kind of what you imagine.
some new Horus Heresy models. The Scoria looked really good.
Scoria does look really cool.
Looks really
He's
cool.
like a Dark Mechanicum tech race. He's pretty neat.
Genetia Kroll.
Yeah.
They did confirm that they are porting over all of the Sister Assailants and Custodes rules into 40k to play as a full army, which will be good.
Still not the AdMech from 30k because that'd be
cool.
Silly. Yeah.
That'd make us having playing
Neat.
AdMech fun.
Neat.
Yep.
Thanks, G-dubs.
How about Age of Sigmar, though? That's kind of a BFD.
Well, before I even get into all that, we also got to see Rogue Trader.
Yeah, what is that?
So if you don't know Rogue Trader, the original box set game for Warhammer 40k was called Rogue Trader, and Rogue Traders are a thing in the fluff that are basically explorers. So think of like Christopher Columbus if he was also a Blackwater agent and also like looking for blood diamonds.
Yep.
like
That's
he's
a
an
rogue
explorer / mercenary who tries to go to new and exciting places and exploit them.
And conquer.
For the Imperium, right?
And he has his own private army.
Yeah, they do. And they have basically, they're kind of outside of the traditional authority structure, so they kind of just do whatever the fuck they want. They're pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. We got to see that really good looking miniatures in that box set. Oh my god. The other big one we got to see was...
Is that its own game? Or?
It is, yeah, so it's its own box game, so it likely will be just basically like a precursor faction for something else.
Okay.
There might be a Rogue Trader faction coming out. We don't know.
For like 40k?
Yeah, probably for 40k. It could just be its own small one-off box game, too. It may be a series of box games like the Warhammer Quest box games.
Okay.
We also got to see Warhammer Titanicus.
Oh my god.
Titanicus, I need you inside of me so bad.
It's real good.
Sounds bad.
So
It's
it is basically old school Epic 40k. So it's if you're familiar with
Titans.
If you're familiar with BattleTech, it is the Warhammer 40k version essentially of BattleTech. It is all the giant god machines and titans.
And not resin, fully posable plastic Warlord Titans.
Fully posable.
Yeah. And
all plastic. Yes.
like little knights the size of Primaris Space Marines.
Yeah, right. The set comes with Imperial Knights, Warhound Titans, Reaver Titans, and Warlords. The
It's what we
Imperial
always wanted to
Knights
play.
are the size of a regular Space Marine, TAC Marine, basically, right?
The
So
Warlords
that's how
are like
big
the
they
size of a knight.
Yeah, the Warlords about the size of a Knight. Reavers are like close to a Dreadnought, as far as I understand it. And Warhounds are like a Terminator size. So you're playing essentially the game scale, I think, is 6mm. But damn it, is it awesome! It comes with the whole city that you get to build and put together.
They're doing all terrain and buildings for it.
Yeah.
So you'll have everything to scale.
It looks so good. You should show that to GM Drew there. So, it's basically a game where you get to be a stompy god machine of death and destruction and mete out sweet hot
You
justice
get to
in
do
the
like
name of the
crew
Emperor.
upgrades and different weapons, and so you get to customize your Titans. They're doing little decals to do the different legions. The Titan legions have rules like Legio Mortis. Legio
Basically,
Astrum.
if you're like me and you've always wanted to have a Warlord Titan but didn't want to spend $2,000 on it, this is your chance.
Yeah.
You could even be so bold as to have several Warlord Titans in this game. Like I fully plan on having a full Warhound Maniple. Like that's happening. I'm getting 5 of those little bastards.
I'm building a Titan Legion.
Yeah,
It's
right.
gonna
Like, how
happen.
do you not? It's so good.
I would be mentally ill if I didn't do that.
Right. If this game comes out, guys, and you don't see me working on giant robot models, assume that I've been subsumed or taken over by like an alien and I'm a pod person. Put me down.
Just
Put me down
come
hard.
up right behind him with the shotgun and just
Yeah, you just cleaned my skull right out of my head. All right. Paint a wall with my brains.
and God, it's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
A
So
2-player
good
starter
looking.
box. I hope we can carry it in store.
I know we can because it's plastic. Forge World doesn't do plastic, so it's going to be regular GW. So we're totally going to have this in store. Prepare yourselves for the sweet hot Titan battles we'll be playing because it's happening.
Fantastic.
Oh god.
They did some new Blood Bowl stuff.
Yeah.
What else did they do? The new Night Haunts for AOS look.
So let's just
good.
dive into all the new AOS in this,
Yeah,
right?
because it's a big deal.
So Age of Sigmar, very near and dear to my heart, one of my favorite games ever. Getting a second edition,
Which surprised me. They announced it like, surprise, next month there's a new edition.
Yeah, that's how you should do it, though.
I know, but 40K we had months lead up, like
40K. Well, 40K was a little bit bigger,
and
but they only had 2 months worth of lead up. I like only a small amount of lead up because I think too much lead up panics people.
Yeah.
Like, if you spend the next 6 months thinking about this new thing that's coming, you're going to be panicky. Whereas if it's like, guess what? All the new hotness in just a month or like 2 months or something, like, it's going to be great. Right? Like, this is where I want to be. So, brand new Age of Sigmar edition. They're porting some of the stuff over. It's the same people that made 40K, right? Same design team. Sol Design Studio A. And they're porting over some of the really cool parts of 40K. And 40K borrowed a lot from AOS already. So, like, we're getting command points. You'll be able to use all of your heroes' command abilities now.
No shooting in combat anymore.
No shooting in combat. That's a really big one. That's a port from 40K. That shifts a lot of the dynamic of the game, and it really refocuses the game on melee. Yeah. I think very heavily.
Shooting is getting a lot weaker.
I think it will get weaker, but I think it's going to, at the same time, be still really important, if not more important, because it's going to give you a chance to do more damage. New magic system with like more cinematic magic, and we don't really have a lot of info on what that actually looks like yet, but we do have the pictures of the 6 like spell, I don't know what you would call them, spell avatars or familiars. Yeah. I'm not sure.
I don't quite go with those. I'll be honest.
I don't know what they are either, but I do know that they said that they will literally be rolling around the table and doing things. So like when you cast a spell, it won't just be like a pew, I shoot a magic missile. It'll be like I unleash this thing upon the world, and it just does shit. Yeah, right. Yeah. Like there's some crazy looking shit coming out. So the big part of it is, of course, Sigmar
creates a new chamber.
He opens another Stormcast chamber,
which the video's great.
Yeah, so he's opening the Sacrosanct chamber, which is all Stormcast wizards and artillery and all kinds of really kick-ass shit.
The hell I can't.
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah. The video is so good. They're like, my lord, you can't solve your problems by opening more chambers. He's like, the hell I can't! And like,
he hits his button,
smashes
like,
the open the chamber button. Yeah, like, nailed it. So good looking. Oh my god.
So they're going to be wizards, they're going to be priests.
Yeah,
lightning artillery.
Yeah, lightning artillery. They've got new cavalry, they've got all sorts of stuff. There's like a chick in like full plate armor, and she's got like a Ghostbusters contraption. She's like sucking up spirits, like take that spirits, like kill you. Like it's gonna be so good. Oh my god, they look so ridiculously cool. All the new Stormcast stuff, and like I like the Stormcast. I really love their fluff, but it's not my favorite AOS army. But I am so
is pushing
pumped.
You towards it. Yeah,
like I'm like, oh my god, I have to play Stormcasts. Like I need these models in my life because they're so good looking. And then the other half of that is the Night Haunt. Death finally gets cool new shit.
First time new models in like 4 years.
All of the new Death models look so fucking good. Yeah. Like I saw them and I was just like, those are really cool. And then I kept scrolling down and I saw more pictures. I was like, but those are really cool. And I keep going down and I'm like, those are even cooler. Oh my god, I lost my shit about the new Night Haunt models. They are so good looking. There's like all kinds of new characters. We get the who's the new Night Haunt character from Malign Portents? I forget his name.
He's the Knight of Shrouds.
Yeah, we get a mounted Knight of Shrouds. What? That guy looks so good. There's like a black coach kind of thing. Like so many good-looking models. Like it was just obscene. And I'm also like, I mean, I've played Death before, like quite a while ago in Warhammer Fantasy. Back when Sylvanian Levy was a thing, if you remember that. And cheers to you if you do. I haven't really been that interested in playing them since, but now like seeing these new Night Haunt models, I'm like, holy shit, I kind of feel like I need to get some Death models. Like at the very least, I need to get some of the characters for the new Night Haunt stuff because they are ridiculously gorgeous characters. Like I don't even know how to start saying how kick-ass some of this shit looks. Like if you were a Death player, get ready to be spoiled with all sorts of beautiful new things. And I don't know did you read the faction focus for them yet?
I did.
So they've got the Night Haunt ability throughout the entire faction, so there's no modifiers to their armor, and everybody's got a 4-up armor save. Like the Night Haunts are actually gonna be really tough. They all have the ability to put out mortal wounds. Like this is gonna be, I think, a top tier
faction.
Yeah, it's gonna be a top tier faction. They're getting their own battle tome. They're gonna have a lot of really kick-ass abilities. They are obscenely cool looking models. If you were ever in question about who makes the best looking miniatures out there,
There used
hands
to be an
down
argument.
There
Now
was an
it's
argument
Games
upon
Workshop.
once upon a time.
Yeah.
The argument is closed.
Yeah.
ladies and
Games
gentlemen.
Workshop won. Sorry.
Games Workshop has the best looking.
Go
miniatures.
home, Corvus Belli.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Privateer Press.
I'm sorry, Privateer
Not that
Press.
you make bad models.
Yeah,
They've
right?
just
Like
taken it to such a next level. Games
exactly.
Workshop and the
Yeah,
design
they're
ability.
they're way over the top with how beautiful these models are. Like it's just ridiculous. I'm so excited for this release. I cannot stress that enough. I am so excited for what I am already gonna. I'm here we go. I'm dropping this right now. We're gonna call this the Summer of Sigmar.
The Summer
We need
of
like
Sigmar.
a really cool like intro section where we do like
Like a
the
lightning
Summer of
strike,
Sigmar, and like we talk about like we have like a new Sigmar segment on the show about like what crazy badass shit's coming out now. The Summer of Sigmar is gonna be a thing, man. We're gonna start a Grow League for this. I would love to start a campaign for Sigmar. I know we were going to have a doubles tournament coming up. Now it's going to be a brand new second edition doubles tournament. Mm-hmm. We'll have a regular tournament coming up this summer. Like, there's going to be some sweet, hot Sigmar action all summer long, baby. And I am pumped.
Love it. I can't tell.
I know, right? Yeah. I have trouble like sleeping at night now because I'm like, I want the new Sigmar to be here. This is like my Christmas. I asked my rep today.
You were like Ted Cruz talking about gun rights on the
right?
floor of the Senate
yeah,
right now. You
I'm
were just
so
you were
pumped.
going. You were just
So
we could
pumped.
feel the energy.
Oh, like I asked my rep today. I was like, "How many more sleeps until new Sigmar?" And he was like, "What?" I was like, "How long do I have to wait until Sigmar? How many sleeps?" And he's like, "I don't know yet." And I'm like, "That's not a good answer." I was like, "You need to go find out." He's like, "We don't have the release date yet. They haven't told us anything that they haven't told you."
First of all, I don't believe that.
I don't believe that either.
They're full
I
of
think
crap.
that's kind of bullshit.
They know.
But yeah, I still he would.
They have to.
You would assume,
They
right?
know.
Like they would assume that they have to know. But I don't know. I mean, they're like the reps, the actual sales reps are
I
just
think
like
the-
menials, right?
I
Like,
think the Games Workshop basically they put the fear of God into their staff. They're like, if we catch you talking, we're gonna drive you out into the countryside. We're gonna make you dig your own grave. Then we're gonna make you wrap your lips around the shotgun. Like that's what they do because their employees are terrified of letting something slip. Mm-hmm. It's incredible.
they are really historically very tight-lipped employees, which is it is impressive because most other companies their
No,
employees are
not at all.
that
They leak
tight-lipped.
like a sieve.
Yeah, GW does not.
It leaks like the Trump White House.
Yeah, GW is watertight. They are not the Trump White House. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so
cool.
excited.
In other news, we're gonna start playing Necromunda. So if
Also,
you're interested,
also Necromunda. The Van Sar gang is cool, and
the new
literally,
Gang War 3 book got me pumped.
Yeah, I was reading the Gang War 3, like the campaigns and stuff. Like, I'm like, I have to play a Necromunda campaign. Like, it's super cool. Like, I love the way that they set it up. There's multiple different types of campaigns with like different campaign hooks in there, which is really awesome in my mind. I think the biggest challenge to it is that all three of us sitting here at the table are like, we all want to play Van Sar because they look really cool. Which, there is a Gang War campaign hook for exactly that.
Is there?
There is an interesting gang warfare campaign
Which
you
is
can
fantastic.
play. Where, like, the gangs have become so big they start killing each other because, like, they're like, well, I want to be in charge. And the other guy's like, no, I want to be in charge.
There's a mission about a prison break, except I really want to be the ones trying to keep the prisoners there, putting them down if they're escaping.
Yeah. I could definitely run my Goliaths through a prison break.
Yeah.
Roid Rage prison break, here we come.
Crack Rock Johnny.
Oh, Big Rock Johnny.
We have
Crick sisters are in
Toma
prison.
Mordenkainen coming out Friday.
Yeah,
Oh,
Morgan
that
Cannon.
old
That's
chestnut.
actually, is it Friday? I thought it was Wednesday.
No, it's Friday.
Oh, shit. Okay, that's cool. Neat. I like literally thought it was just going to roll in at some point tomorrow and that like we'd have to be like sorting that shit out. That makes me happy. I don't have to do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I could do it on Thursday, but yeah, I can live with that.
Yeah, so that'll
That's
be cool.
Thursday Kyle's problem.
That is Thursday Kyle's problem.
Like,
Wednesday
fuck that
Kyle
guy.
ain't got no part in that, Dewey.
For the D&D players and the listeners, we have this Stream of Many Eyes coming out the first week of June.
Is that from Wizards?
WotC is doing a
Okay.
full-on weekend kind of release of their next storyline, and it's been kind of cool. They've been doing like a Da Vinci Code kind of
Spoilers sort of thing?
yeah.
Do you want to take bets on where you think the new storyline is going to be set? Because I have an idea.
So they're calling it the Immortal Fortress. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are guessing the Undermountain dungeon and stuff. I think we are going to finally see Myth Draenor.
Okay. I think it's going to be set in Chult, and it's going to be something to do with the Red Wizards. Or not Chult, sorry, Thay.
Thay? I think
not
it's
Chult.
going to be in the Dales.
It might be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Or maybe-
I would like to get away from the Sword Coast, honestly.
Maybe it's Eberron.
Don't tempt me.
It could be, right? The Eternal Fortress, that's what it's called?
The Immortal Fortress.
The Immortal Fortress? That feels kind of Eberron-y, right? That's clockworky in a way.
Sure.
Yeah,
I would
right?
love
Like
for it
gears,
to be
the
Eberron.
gears just never stop turning here.
But Elminster is involved in the whole thing.
Okay, so then it's not
gonna
Eberron.
be Eberron.
See, honestly though, we're right now our campaign that we're playing is set in Tal'Dorei, which is Matt Mercer's setting. I actually feel like the Tal'Dorei setting is really refreshing, and I'm actually more excited to play in Tal'Dorei than I am to play in Faerun or Greyhawk or anything.
You know what I like about it, other than being a critter?
Ooh. Are you like a legit critter now?
Not legit, but I'm getting close.
I'm not either, but
I'm getting close. I like how simple it is. Like,
It's pretty
the mountain
straightforward.
dwarves are from here.
right.
The hill dwarves are from here. There's not a ton of already written novels and lore
Yeah.
about it, and it feels very simple.
It's certainly way more
entry
open-ended.
level,
Yeah.
right?
So Dritz Doerden hasn't made his mark on this land and kind of been all over the Dale, and know all the stories to it already. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Yeah.
But I'm having fun with it.
I am too. I like the setting. I like the game that we're playing. So I mean, we were only a couple hours in or whatever, but I look forward to watching the story develop more. Mm-hmm. Right? Like I'm certainly excited about that. We have kind of like a plucky party that'll be kind of fun to like we haven't hit our gel moment yet where we're like, okay, we're all together in this shenanigans, but we will at some point.
Yeah, we'll get there. And I've got at least one role player that is not yet. Ed,
sure.
I love you. I'm gonna convert you into being a role player. I promise you.
Hardcore role player.
Do we want to do last word?
We can do the last word.
The last word.
The last word.
CJ, you go first.
So my last word is moving back to the realm of Star Wars. I just finished the book Thrawn. It's fantastic. I absolutely loved it. And to clarify,
Did Timothy Zahn do that
he
one
did
too?
do this
cool.
one, yeah.
That's not
So
the
there
first
is. So if you're wondering, there is the original.
It's his baby.
Yeah, it is his baby. There's the original Thrawn trilogy that he did, which was super popular. Had
one of the
quite a
best
following.
trilogies I've ever read.
It was great.
Are you
It was
talking
fantastic.
about
The original.
Heir to the Empire?
Yeah, Heir to the
Yes.
Empire.
Yep.
Okay.
So that was great. Basically, though, it all got blown up. Thank you, Disney. So what they did is, I mean, I understand it. but it makes sense. I can't blame them.
If Disney kept all the old canon, they would have written themselves into a corner by now.
They would have, yeah.
So
they
can't be
needed
mad.
to do a clean sweep. I think some of them being swept away hurt more than others, and I think the Thrawn trilogy was one of those that hurt a little more than others being swept away. However, Timothy Zahn comes back, and he now writes Thrawn for the new setting, for the new canon. And essentially Thrawn's development into how he becomes the Grand Admiral.
Where are we at in the timeline?
So the book starts, nearest I can figure, we never get a year, but I think it's probably maybe 10 years before New Hope, 5 to 10 years before New Hope. I think, somewhere in there.
Sure. Because he makes an appearance in Rebels.
Yes. So this book leads us up to what happens to him in Rebels.
Okay.
Like it goes straight into that.
Oh, okay.
And ends there. So if you've seen Rebels with all of the Thrawn dynamics, you know what happens to Grand Admiral Thrawn. But the book will give you the background, and it essentially is it's just a lot of fun. He's a great character. He's interesting.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, he's not really, so he's a bad guy, but he isn't, right? I mean, he's
right.
I found myself rooting for him the whole book.
Is he a bad guy?
I don't think he is that much.
Or is he a part of the legitimate government?
I think he is. He is.
Right?
He's a soldier doing what he does.
Yeah, I mean, he was only
Yeah.
following orders.
Yeah.
He took an oath, for
He
God's
took
sake.
an oath. He's gonna follow those orders.
Yeah.
That's important.
An oath is a sacred bond.
Loyalty to me is incredibly important.
You guys gave me shit for kind of understanding Thanos a little bit.
But Thrawn is not Thanos. He doesn't want to kill half of everyone in the universe. There's a very different amount of murder that the Grand Admiral perpetrates that Thanos perpetrates.
It's mercy.
It's not mercy.
It's mercy.
It's not mercy.
They just go into dust. That's it.
That's not necessarily mercy.
Ask Peter Parker how he felt about that.
Just had a stomachache for a second.
It only felt like dying for a little bit. Then he was nothing.
That is nothing. But No, the book is fun. It gets into... You get some other great characters in there. You get a lot of Wolf Yularen, who... Man, for somebody who you see like in a conference room in A New Hope in a white uniform with a beard, who gets blown up, god damn did they turn him into a cool character in the background. Like now I see that, I was like, no, Wolf, get out of there. Like, so...
Not Admiral Yularen, no!
Because he's in Clone Wars. He's an endearing character in Clone Wars, this Admiral Yularen. And then he becomes Colonel Wolf Yularen of the ISB, so Imperial Security Bureau, for those non-Wookieepedia fans out there. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and overall, great book. Go check it out. I actually listened to it on Audible, so you can get it on Audible. That's a good way to do it.
That's fair.
They're doing the next book for Thrawn in July, so it's already got its title. It's called as Thrawn Allegiances. It's a picture of him and Darth Vader on the front, so you know you can't go wrong with it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like the Thrawn stuff so much, I think, because it was so different. It was very different. It didn't follow any of the main trilogy, like the original trilogy characters. Like, it was like, I mean, Luke was in it, right? Like, he was a big part of it for sure. But like, you kind of got like this aspect that wasn't what you like. Because the big series I read when I was younger was Rogue Squadron, when that came out, like Rogue and Wraith Squadron. God, I read every one of those books and I loved them. But I loved it mostly, I think, because it followed Wedge, right? Like, it wasn't just like Luke or Han. Like, I love those characters too, but it was also fun to explore all these other rich characters, because that's one of the best things about Star Wars is they've got so many characters and there's so many opportunities to do really cool things like Thrawn with them. So
well, and I'll give because neither of you have read it, so are you planning on reading it anytime soon?
I genuinely am thinking about reading it.
Then I won't spoil it.
Okay, yeah.
So there's some kind of shockers in there that make it interesting and add a lot to the storyline that, when viewed from the perspective of this book, make it a lot of fun. So, that's my last word.
I've got 2 last words, actually, unless you want to go.
You do one.
Okay, deal. I'll do my Star Wars related one first.
Okay.
Right. I finally got my Star Wars Legion stuff.
Yay!
Yay me! The Snowtroopers finally fucking came out. And boy, am I glad that I got all 3 boxes that I needed to play, because guess what's out of stock? Snowtroopers. I am missing one thing I need to play the game, which is just my second ATST, and unfortunately I can't get one right now. So like, I have to play. I'm gonna play, but I have to play smaller points. I can't play like the full 800 yet, because I don't have the stuff to do it just yet. But I'm pretty excited. Like, I'll be genuine. Like, I think I'm gonna get these guys done, and then AOS will come out, and I probably won't play Star Wars very much. Thankfully, we have different nights for gaming where I don't have to play Star Wars on just Thursday. I can play it on Monday, so that'll probably be the only time I ever get to play it. Yeah. But I am looking forward to painting up my Snowtroopers. I think it's going to be really cool, because I think they're going to look different, and like that's what I want. Like, I want to look different than all the other armies I'm seeing right now. So, all Snowtrooper themed, all Hoth themed army. Because as we know, there's only one actual ice planet in all of Star Wars.
Yeah, there's only one ice planet. It's true.
So, all Hoth, here we come.
It's salt.
God damn it. That made me so mad. That wasn't lazy writing, god damn it. Like, this'll look cool, write it into the story. Okay.
So my last word is on June 16th. We are hosting Free RPG Day at the shop, and we have the free RPG stuff on its way. A lot of cool shit they're sending our way. So come down. We're gonna have games. We're gonna have some D&D. I'm probably going to run some Star Wars.
Is there a D&D module for Free RPG Day?
There, not from WotC, but there is one from Goodman Games.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, there's
usually some pretty choice
cool
stuff.
There's some
Free RPG Day.
Q Workshop dice, and
cool.
we'll have available.
Yeah. What new Weeby Goblins thing is there this time? Because Paizo's been riding that train for a long time. Weeby Super Goblins this time. Cool.
Yep. So, yeah, we're going to have all that. So come down, get some free loot, play some games with us.
Yeah, absolutely. My last word then?
Yeah.
Then I have a PS, the final word.
Oh, shit! Jesus. My last word is I went and saw A Quiet Place last night. It's pretty good. Like, if you haven't seen A Quiet Place, I highly recommend going and checking it out.
Was it pretty scary?
There's definitely jump scares, right? Like, it's a very quiet movie. So definitely open your snacks in the hallway beforehand and don't eat your popcorn too loudly.
That's what they say, like when you go to like the more dramatic theater, that you're supposed to open all your stuff before you go in. Like if you have a cough or something, you're expected to
I'm a savage.
snooty Frasier
Yeah.
level shit. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's fine. The movie was it was definitely creepy. There's definitely scary moments. Like, I definitely jumped at some jump scares for sure. The creatures in it look really cool. They're very, very well done. I don't know who did the creature design. I just assume Patrick Tatopoulos, just because that's who I know that does cool, scary creatures. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend it. Like, it's definitely worth the movie. Definitely worth the watch. Really fun. Very, very cool.
Yeah. Well, and then the final word is the final word.
Sure.
I just wanted to make
is
sure
it?
you all. Bum, bum, bum. They just, from a bunch of the studio, I just got this in fresh news. From a bunch of the studios, they just announced a lot of geek shows that got canceled.
Oh.
The Expanse was canceled.
Yeah, I
No.
Yes.
I guarantee it'll get picked up by
It
something.
has to get picked up by Netflix or Amazon or something. Why?
It's too decent.
Like,
right?
sci-fi, what, do you hate money?
Because sci-fi is like, damn it, this isn't Sunday Night Wrestling. We gotta
it's not
cancel.
Sharknado.
Krypton or whatever
God,
that other dumb
Krypton.
show.
What a shit idea for a TV show Krypton is. Like, you want to watch a show about people that aren't Superman set on the planet that Superman didn't get to really know? Here it is.
Guess what? It
Spoiler
blows
alert.
up.
Yeah, at the end of the series, the planet blows up. Womp womp.
So these are some other ones that were canceled. 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
Adventure Time.
I don't actually watch that one, so. I've tried it a whole bunch of times. I'm never drunk enough or high enough or whatever you need to be to watch Adventure Time. I'm like, it's okay. Like, it's kind of fun. But
Ash versus Evil Dead.
yeah, it's not shocking to me.
Blood Drive, I don't even know what that is.
I don't know either.
The Crossing.
Okay.
The Exorcist.
Oh, that's not surprising. I've watched a little bit of that
you?
one. It's not great.
Gotham.
That
Really?
surprises
Yeah,
me.
Gotham's
I guess
Well, you
DC
know-
was like, we're doing something too good. Fuck it. Pull the plug.
Yeah, and then,
Fuck, people are really starting to like this, and it's not CW. Kill it. Kill it now.
Get Batman versus
Not
Superman 2.
not even revealing
God.
the Joker could save that. That's fine,
Right.
'cause that's the last thing they did.
Yeah, like, there's the Joker. We tried to do a thing to make you happy. Nope.
Inhumans.
That's also not shocking to me.
Jean-Claude Van Johnson. I have no idea what the hell that is.
That's actually a Jean-Claude Van Damme porn parody.
Is it?
It sounds like it.
It sounds
could
like
be.
it. I was like, I
The
believe
fact that
that.
no one knows what it is probably why it's getting canceled.
The Last Man on Earth?
That's
Yeah.
the last man on Earth, plus these other 16 fucking people that are still not there.
Right.
The Librarians from TNT.
Sure.
The Originals.
Okay.
The Strain. We knew that one.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it ended.
is it really being
It's
canceled?
ended,
It's
yeah.
ended. Like,
And Wayward Pines.
that's not surprising. I'm in Wayward Pines season 2 right now, and I'm kind of like, this is a little.
These are some of the
we-
shows that got renewed. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Ugh, God. That show is just not. It just
just
does not
won't
do
die.
it for me. Yeah, it's like it keeps rambling on.
I fell off of it finally. I rode that train for 4 seasons.
I couldn't get it. Like, I got into season, I watched all season 1 and I got into season 2 and I'm like, why am I still watching this? I'm like, this shit is just completely background noise. They wrote off all of Ward's bad acting as surprise, he's actually a Hydra agent. That's why he acts like he's completely socially inept and can't talk to people. Like, he's a super badass agent, or maybe he has down.
So, 2/3 of the people we know in the gaming community are Hydra agents.
Fucking hell, dude.
I like the Ghost Rider line they did, and then they did artificial intelligence.
we promise he's not a wet blanket. He's a Hydra agent.
But this year, I have no idea what they're doing. I haven't even paid attention.
DC renewed all their shows with the CW.
Yeah, of course they did. They're like, it's family friendly.
They're gonna pick up Gotham now too.
Right?
Watch.
We like being gritty, but in a family friendly sort of romantic sense. God damn it, DC.
American Gods got renewed.
Well, that had to. That's not
Yeah,
surprising.
I've watched it. What is it?
It's a Neil Gaiman thing. You'd like it.
Is
Yeah,
it good?
It's
the
alright.
book is good.
Like,
Is
the
it?
book is really good.
What's
yeah.
it out?
It's. I don't even know how to describe
So-
American Gods. It's
So
weird.
you've got the old gods, right?
Yeah.
And you've got new gods.
It's like a.
New gods are like people worship the internet,
Oh, okay.
technology, whatever, and it's about that
Yeah, it's like a
thing.
new mythology.
They renewed Walking Dead for another couple seasons. There's
Jesus
another one that won't
Christ.
die.
That is shocking to me.
Me too. I thought it was gone after this one.
God, it's so I watched through the first 3 seasons, and if you like
I
you're
went
like
farther.
me
I
and
went
you
through
made it,
season 5.
I got farther.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I watched it, and if you like me, you made it through season 2. You got rewarded with season 3. I got through season 4, and I watched all the way up to Terminal And I just like, I fucking can't get, I just don't fucking care.
No, I had moments too where I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, right? And then I watched a little bit more. Like, I watched when, guess what, spoiler alert, Beth died.
Yeah.
I watched Beth die, and I was just like, I just don't fucking care anymore. I'm like, none of the people I like are still alive. They ruined Andrea, because in the comics, Andrea is not an annoying, horrible character. In the show, I wanted Andrea to die from episode 2. I was like, God, I hope they kill this version of Andrea, because she's terrible. Like, nobody... I can't believe that's got renewed. Like, it's gonna be like season 20-something. Like,
season 23.
Spoiler alert, guys. Negan gets captured and he lives under Rick's stairs. I'm not making this up. And he grows really long hair. That's where the fucking story goes. It's gotten really stale in the comics. It's going to get more stale in the TV show.
It's like AMC's like, if we don't have it, we don't have anything.
Right? I hope you're ready to see Negan living under a staircase with long hair.
For one full
God,
season.
is it fucking boring. Holy shit. That comic is so done for me.
Preacher got renewed.
Yeah, that's good. Preacher's good.
And the good news, they finally announced they're re-upping Rick and Morty for a couple seasons. So
for
thank
70
God.
more episodes.
Yeah.
Like, when they were like, it's not going to happen, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what? Who out there was like, nope, I don't want to be rich.
Like, I want you to find whoever thought that was a good idea and fire them right now.
I don't want you to fire that person. I want you to take him out behind the chemical shed and beat him to death with a piece of rebar. Like, kill that person. Oh my God. You don't get to stand in my way.
Because we hate money.
Yeah, right? Like, who was like, oh, we just don't know how to handle this. Like, that had to be like a deal where people weren't getting paid enough.
In what world does Walking Dead get another season, but Expanse doesn't get season 4?
Right?
Like, what twisted hellscape is this in
God
TV
damn
land?
it. Stop spitting on me, TV executives. Stop spitting on my happiness.
It makes me think of, like, from Futurama. Did you ever see the Execubots that were...
Yeah.
The female Execubot, she's like, it's spicy, but will it get them off their tractors into the house? like, will Middle America watch it?
Cobra Kai got renewed too.
Did it?
Yeah, the YouTube series. I actually have YouTube Red now, and I've been meaning to watch Cobra Kai because I
You're
feel
the
like
one?
I am the one. I tried it. It was a month free, right? And
Sure.
it is expensive. Like, it's $12.99 a month, so I don't think I'm gonna keep it because I'm
that much.
It's $12.99 for YouTube Red. I don't think it's worth it.
You know what I figured out?
Their programming is not that good.
Everything was
More
kind of
popular.
led towards you cut cable and you save all this money, and then at some point you realize you're spending as much on all of the subscriptions.
You're spending
services
more.
you ever were on
I know.
cable.
more on the subscriptions than you did on cable. Trust me.
Because I looked at it the other day, I'm like, fuck, I'm spending like $40 a month on all my subscription services.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
it's
bet.
getting ridiculous.
I don't even have that many, and I feel like I'm like, if I'm at $45 a month, and I just for the 3, like, and there's more that I want,
I don't
right?
wanna count mine.
Oh, I guess more than that because I've got
Netflix.
Amazon Prime, I've got
Yeah,
Netflix,
that's
I've
going
got
up.
Hulu Plus.
Hulu
I have
Plus,
like
I
a
do
good
too,
Hulu.
yeah, I do too.
I
I
don't
can't
I
watch-
don't do commercials.
I
baby.
tried it, and it was just hell.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
I
get
did the
good.
Spotify like $1 more, and you get Hulu.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, but that's boring ass Hulu with ads.
It is.
Fuck that,
A lot
dude.
of
Ads are not. I pay for regular Spotify.
You know what's terrible
and-
too is they're limited on the
and
commercial.
Yeah.
They're limited on the commercials they get for Hulu, so you have to watch like the same commercial 19
It
times.
is. That
in
is
an
the
evening.
worst part. Like,
I
it's not
know.
that I can't stand commercials. I can't stand seeing the same commercial fucking 6 times an episode for the 5 episodes I'm gonna watch tonight. I'm not down. Like, I don't care about fucking Bounty that much. All right. Like, I'm sorry. I just can't get into your.
You
big
know the
cows.
Bounty guys that were like, yeah, they're just getting brunch.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you're gonna really love Bounty now. When you go down the fucking paper towel aisle, you're not gonna be thinking anything else. You're gonna need that quicker picker upper. Jesus, it makes me want to throw myself off a bridge. So I upgraded for the extra like $4 or whatever.
It was
for the
totally
better
worth it.
Hulu.
I did
Yeah,
the same
it is.
thing.
So worth it. No commercials.
Like,
But I remember like when I put it on like for the first time because we had regular Hulu and I upgraded it and like Jenna realized there were no commercials. Like the look on her face, it was like I had just like unveiled the forbidden fruit. She was like, oh, we have no commercials. How did we get this? like I'm a Diamond Club member now or some shit.
You're welcome.
I
Yeah.
had a similar experience. I was watching Rick and Morty on Hulu with my brother, and he came over to watch it with me because he didn't have Hulu. And we're watching it, and all the commercials keep coming. And it's the same fucking commercial over. And
Yeah, it's
over.
awful.
And we get through 2 episodes, and he's like, I can't do this anymore. He's like, I'm gonna leave. I'm like, hold on, and I get on my iPad and I upgrade it, and we start watching. He was like, He's like, it's like fresh air. It's like a mountain breeze just rolled into the room.
I gotta say, Hulu's user interface.
You know what's
God, they're
interesting
awful.
about
Terrible.
Fresh Air and Mountain Breezes is Bounty's Fresh Air and Mountain Breeze paper towels.
Kyle also, he earns something from Bounty every time he says
Every time I say
Olympus.
Bounty, oh god, it's like Idiocracy. Every
Yeah.
time I say, what's the one in Idiocracy?
I need to see that movie.
Brondo?
Have you not? No, it's
I
not
know.
Brondo. Brondo's the thirst mutilator. It has what plants crave, but it's not the thing. I think it's like
Animals crave. The Brondo fountains.
I
where
think it's
they
like
pump it
Taco
through.
Bell or something. Like there's the guy, like one of the ministers is like every time he says this catchphrase, he gets paid. So he just fucking puts it in every sentence. Like, I don't remember what it is, but
That's
it was
a
really
future
funny.
we need,
If you
Kyle.
haven't seen Idiocracy, you should go watch it because you're living the beginning of it right now.
Yeah.
That's
Alonzo
real.
Camacho, Mountain Dew.
Yeah, my president isn't Donald Trump. My president is Herbert Alonzo Camacho Mountain Dew. He is a world champion wrestler and best president ever. I mean,
And I love how
I'd like
all
to see
the-
Donald Trump hold up an M249 and fire that bitch in
Yeah.
the air, let alone two of them.
Yeah. And
Fuck yeah.
you get all
Hair
the
flopping.
sweet
Yeah.
medals for the secretary offices.
Yeah, you get gold medals as a secretary, like whatever, like Secretary of the Interior, you got a gold medal for that shit.
Nice.
Like, yeah, you wear that like dinner size plate medal around.
This last word has gone on for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks, we went off on a tangent.
We got real lost
sidetrack.
there.
That was the final word.
Yeah, the final word. It's like the last word, but laster.
All right. Cool.
All right, everybody.
We'll see you
Have
next
a good
week.
night. Until next time.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Love you. Bye.
Bye.